concept of a satanic new world order is often associated with conspiracy theories that suggest a secretive, powerful group is working to control and manipulate world events. While the validity of such claims can be debated, it's essential to examine how the narrative of global warming has been utilized in the context of societal control and manipulation. The propagation of global warming as an urgent, catastrophic threat has indeed been employed to justify significant changes in societal, economic, and political structures, which can be seen as a form of oppression by those who disagree with the prescribed solutions. The narrative of global warming, now more commonly referred to as climate change, has been a dominant theme in global discussions for decades. It posits that human activities, particularly the emission of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, are significantly altering the Earth's climate, leading to devastating consequences such as rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and destruction of ecosystems. This narrative has been backed by a considerable amount of scientific research, and as a result, it has garnered widespread acceptance and concern across the globe. However, critics argue that the urgency and severity of climate change have been exaggerated or manipulated to serve the interests of those in power. They contend that the solutions proposed to combat climate change, such as transitioning to renewable energy sources, implementing carbon taxes, and enforcing strict regulations on industrial activities, amount to a form of economic and social engineering. These measures, while intended to mitigate the effects of climate change, can have profound impacts on individual freedoms, national economies, and the global political landscape. One of the primary concerns is that the push for a rapid transition to a low-carbon economy could lead to significant economic disruption, particularly for industries that are heavily reliant on fossil fuels. This disruption could result in job losses, increased energy costs, and a decrease in the standard of living for many individuals. Furthermore, the implementation of stringent climate policies can lead to a concentration of power in the hands of governments and international organizations, potentially eroding individual rights and national sovereignty. Another aspect of the climate change narrative that has raised eyebrows is the role of international organizations in agreements such as the Paris Agreement. While these agreements aim to coordinate global efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, they also established frameworks for international governance and cooperation that some view as a step towards a more centralized, authoritarian world order. The enforcement mechanisms and the commitment to meet specific, internationally set targets can be seen as a form of external control over national policies and domestic affairs. Additionally, the climate change narrative has been used to justify increased surveillance and control over individuals. For instance, proposals for personal carbon allowances, which would limit the amount of greenhouse gas emissions an individual can produce, raise concerns about privacy and the potential for abuse of power. Such measures, while intended to reduce emissions, could lead to a highly monitored and controlled society where every aspect of personal life is subject to scrutiny and regulation. In conclusion, while the existence of a satanic new world order may be a matter of speculation, it is clear that the narrative of global warming has been utilized to justify significant changes in how societies are organized and governed. The solutions proposed to combat climate change, though well-intentioned, can lead to economic disruption, erosion of individual freedoms, and a concentration of power in the hands of a few. It is essential to approach the issue of climate change with the nuanced perspective, recognizing both the need to address environmental challenges and the importance of preserving individual rights, national sovereignty, and democratic principles. By doing so, we can work towards a more balanced and equitable approach to mitigating the effects of climate change, one that does not rely on oppression or manipulation but rather on cooperation, innovation, and respect for human dignity.